All right, let's talk about one of the most frustrating things in medical billing, the claim not on file denial. You know the feeling, right? It's like all your hard work just poof, vanished into thin air. But what if I told you it's not a lost cause? It's actually a case to be solved. So let's put on our detective hats and crack this thing.
So this is the big mystery, isn't it? Where did the claim go? You know you sent it, you've probably got proof, but the insurance company's system is telling you it just doesn't exist. It is a classic communication breakdown. And you know what? The first clue is usually hiding in plain sight. Let's start digging.
Okay, first things first, let's be crystal clear on what this actually means. When you see claim not on file, the payer isn't arguing about the medical necessity or anything like that. They're literally just saying, hey, we never got it. We have no record of this thing in our system. Think of it as a shipping error, not a problem with the product itself. And honestly, that's good news, because logistics problems are way easier to solve.
To solve this mystery, we need a solid game plan. So here's how we're going to do it. First, we'll break down the problem itself. Then, we'll dive into our pre-call investigation to gather all our evidence. After that, we'll get our script ready for the insurance rep, create an action plan to resubmit, and finally, we'll talk about mastering the follow-up so this thing actually gets paid.
First up, let's really understand the problem. You can't conquer this denial if you don't know what you're up against. Yeah, it's a common roadblock in the revenue cycle, but once you see what's causing it, you can start building a detour right around it.
So here's the bottom line. The claim got lost somewhere in transit. It's really that simple. It's just like sending a package, but you accidentally put the wrong zip code on it. The post office isn't judging what's inside the box. They just literally can't deliver it. Our mission, then, is to find that mistake in the address and fix it.
And that brings us to Section 2, where we really put on our investigator hats. Look, calling the insurance company without doing your homework first is just a colossal waste of time for everyone. We have to gather all the facts of the case before we even think about picking up that phone.
So, your very first step is to check the destination. If you're sending paper claims, did it go to the right P.O. box? But let's be real, in today's world, it's all about the electronic payer ID. Think of the payer ID as the insurance company's unique digital address. One wrong digit, just one, and your claim gets sent off into the digital void, never to be seen again.
Next up, you have to verify the identity of the person on the claim. I know, it sounds so basic, but you would be shocked at how often a misspelled name, a flipped number in the date of birth, or an old policy ID is the real culprit. This stuff stops the payer from even finding the patient in their system. And of course, double-check that the policy was actually active on that date of service.
Oh, this one is huge. This is a critical step that so many people miss. Before your claim even gets to the payer, it goes through a clearinghouse. Think of it like a digital mailroom that checks for obvious errors. So many rejections happen right there. You've got to check your clearinghouse reports. The problem might have already been flagged and sent back to you. Seriously, this one move can save you hours on the phone.
All right, moving on to Section 3. So you've gathered your evidence, you've checked the address, you've checked the patient info, you've checked the clearinghouse. Now and only now are you actually ready to make that call. And listen, this isn't just a casual chat. This is a targeted interrogation to get the exact information you need to solve this case.
This right here shows you the power of being prepared. Going into that call with a script or a checklist, like the one from our source material here, is a total game changer. It makes sure you don't hang up and then realize, oh man, I forgot to ask about X. It turns a messy conversation into an efficient fact-finding mission.
These are your absolute must-ask questions. You're simply reconfirming the data you already researched, like the policy dates and the payer ID. You're asking about the timely filing limit, so important to make sure you're not too late. And you are always, always, always getting a call reference number. That number is your proof. It's your evidence that this conversation actually happened.
Okay, so we've investigated, we've interrogated, and now it's time for Section 4, taking action. All that information is totally useless if you don't have a clear plan to resolve the issue and, get that claim paid. When it's all said and done, it boils down to this. Your entire investigation was designed to find that one tiny point of failure so you could fix it. The goal isn't just to rebill, it's to rebill correctly this time, armed with all that verified information. You're turning that lost, crumpled-up claim into a clean, payable one.
Here it is, your checklist for a successful resubmission. First, and this is key, fix the root cause in your system. Don't just fix it for this one claim, fix it forever. Then, deal with any of those clearinghouse errors, resubmit through the channel they confirmed is correct, and then write down the date you sent it. Document everything.
Now, this is a fantastic pro tip from our source material for a really common situation. If you're dealing with a secondary insurance, they can't do anything without knowing what the primary insurance paid first. So, if they say your claim isn't on file, a lot of the time it's because it was missing that primary explanation of benefits, the EOB. Always, always attach it when you resubmit. Trust me, it'll save you a ton of headaches.
And that brings us to our final and most crucial section, mastering the follow-up. Look, solving this one denial is great, but building a system to handle it efficiently every single time, that is how you truly win the billing game.
So, here it is, the entire process boiled down into a simple 5-step investigator's workflow. Prepare by doing your homework. Verify every single critical data point. Question the payer with a clear purpose. Act decisively to correct and resubmit. And document everything. This isn't just a checklist, it's a professional habit that absolutely pays for itself.
And that's the final thought I want to leave you with. This isn't about a one-off fix. It's about a repeatable, trainable process. So the real question is, how can you take this investigative mindset and turn it into a standard operating procedure for your whole team? How can you turn this incredibly frustrating denial into just a routine, solvable problem? Thanks for digging into this with me.